All right, all yours, Tron.
All right, everyone, welcome, welcome. We're so thankful to have you again. This is our March SSN meeting. We have a lot to go through. We've already done some self-introductions, but for those that are just joining us, I know we have a couple students that have literally just logged in. We want to give you an opportunity to not only introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what school do you attend, what grade level are you in, and then the unique question that I just asked a few seconds ago, what are you thankful for? All right, we just want to kind of get the conversation going, get you warmed up a little bit. All right, so continue doing these self-introductions, please. We want to know who you are. In the meantime, what is Bridge to Life? What is B2l? Instead of having somebody read that, you can kind of read it on your own. But really, we're here for you. We are student-focused and in many cases, student-led. There are tons of opportunities right here within Bridge to Life to put you in a more successful point, right? To kind of help you reach your goals, whether they're life goals, career, college, you name it. So that's what we are. We're here for you. And if you haven't already, really quick plug, as you can see at the bottom right of the page, connect with us at Bridge to Life SFL, Bridge the number 2 Life SFL on Instagram. I have to push that. I can't help it. So please make sure to connect with us. But we are a platform for your voice to be heard. Students, we're here for you. Colleen, is there anything that I missed on this particular slide before we move forward?
No, I think that's fantastic. Thank you so much,
You're
Tron.
welcome.
Tron is a wonderful, wonderful partner and a leader in B2l. So here's our jam-packed agenda for today. We're going to cover most of these in a minute or less, but we have some special guest speakers to talk about a few things. So we're going to mention the award conference, the award ceremony for the YouTube conference. That's coming up on March 31st. Arthur talked about this last month. You asked for it. We're giving it to you this month. Adulting. So we have Coach Mo Corker from Comerica back to talk a little bit about financial literacy and do some briefing on adulting for us. We are then going to be joined by a representative from School Board Debbie Hickson's office, Jessica Palomino, who will be talking about the fabulous 2021 Chris Hickson Athletic Scholarship named in honor of the athletic coach from Marjorie Stoneman that we lost on that fateful day. Deadline, April 2nd. Jessica will go through details for that. A reminder of our scholarship challenge where we will be awarding cash prizes for scholarships that have been applied for. Then we've got some dollar opportunities for B2l that we're going to talk about, the racial equity social justice team, the social media ambassadors. There is an outstanding internship opportunity with Land Infotech that is dollar connected. Michael Goldstein, the CEO of Land Infotech, will be joining us briefly to remind all of you of that opportunity. And then we'll end with upcoming events and initiatives and get your advice on topics for next month. The College and Career Corners that is hosted by Broward Schools, and especially the push for March Madness this month, all things FAFSA. We have another special guest coming to talk to you about a very exciting pitch competition in April. This is a Miami-based group called Venture Bites. And then we have an upcoming very exciting career conference on all things Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So we're pretty excited. So let's get started. We're going to go over the YouTube award ceremony first. Watch this short video. So for those that submitted videos for the competitions, gift cards were awarded on Friday. So check your spam because we're hearing that some of them ended up in spam. But we will be publicly announcing with a number of very important dignitaries and community leaders from here and beyond at this award ceremony. So please join us. I don't know if the picture of that QR code will work with that arrow in the middle. So definitely check B2l's IG page. The link is also listed there. All right, so with that, do we have Mo Corker back with us yet? I don't see her.
I don't see Mo in the panelists. I don't see her there yet.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Mo is speaking next, but when she joins, we'll pivot back to her. So let's just keep going. So Jessica, if you are ready and you don't mind, Jessica works in school board member Deborah Hickson's office, and Debbie has launched this wonderful scholarship in memory of her husband, and you can see the eligibility criteria here. But why don't I give the floor to you, Jessica, to say a few words and to add any more specifics that aren't listed here.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I was not able to figure out how I could drop the application in the chat, but Ms. Lockwood, I did just email that to you. So if you could somehow share that with everybody, that would be greatly appreciated. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So yes, my name is Jessica Palomino. I'm actually the secretary for the Chris Hickson Scholarship Foundation. And this is our third year offering the scholarship. One of the changes this year that we're really excited about is because of the generosity of the community in supporting our efforts, we are adding a fourth county-wide scholarship this year. So in the previous years, the scholarship applications were from the three schools that Chris Hickson had worked at when he worked for the Broward County school system. So that was Blanche Ely High School, South Broward High School, and then Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. This year, for the first time, we're now also adding that fourth scholarship, which is going to be a countywide. So any student that is a Broward County senior that's going to be graduating that meets these criteria, they will be able to apply for the scholarship. So you have to be a senior that is also an athlete. The whole idea is that we want to represent Chris and what he stood for with athletics. You have to have an unweighted GPA of a 3.25. This year, we did reduce the amount of volunteer hours required because we do know that with the pandemic, it's been very difficult for most students to find opportunities to earn those service hours. So we did make that reduction to 50 volunteer hours this year for the application. One of the most important things that we ask for the students to submit are 2 letters of recommendation and then also an essay. And when we're going through the applications, those are really the 3 things that we tend to look at the most, because we want to make sure that the students that we're selecting for these scholarships really represent what Chris Hickson represented and what he stood for. So please, anybody and everybody, apply for the scholarship. It's $2,500, which we feel is a very generous amount, something definitely worth everyone's while. And if you have any questions, by all means, we do a Chris Hickson 5K every year. We just did the third one, our third annual, which we did do it virtual this year, obviously because of the pandemic. But we were blessed to have over 500 participants virtually. We had 523 participants. And with that, it's a registration fee, and that registration fee goes directly into the scholarship fund for our students in Broward County. So, you know, we do it to keep Chris's memory alive, but we also do it to support our students here in the county.
Wonderful, Jessica. Thank you so much. So
Absolutely.
great opportunity, and what a wonderful legacy. And you know, you have heard this many times, the opportunity to have access to scholarships locally gives you a much stronger chance. So everyone, do please apply now. And I see we have the fabulous Coach Mo Corker back with us. So we're going to do one more slide to talk about the B2l Scholarship Challenge, and then Mo, we will come back to you if that's okay.
Yes, still working on my computer, guys. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. And take your time. We've got some flexibility if you're tied up. So Tron, do you want to go through this? Do you mind going through the B2l Scholarship Challenge?
Let's talk about it. B2l Scholarship Challenge, everyone. I don't know if you had a chance or if you quite remember, but 20 or more scholarship applications by March 31st. The deadline is right around the corner. We're still looking for more applications. I can't believe I'm saying that, but we're still looking for more applications. Two $100 grand prizes, one being awarded from the commercial, from Comerica, $20 gift cards for the next four most applied for, right? So we need to see you guys submitting these applications. Include bright futures if you are applying. Make sure to do that, please. And all you have to do is send this information to bridge2lifesfl@gmail.com. The subject line, as you can see, is B2l Scholarship Challenge, plus the number of scholarships that you have applied for. We need to see this information. I'm just going to ask a question. Was anyone here, please put this in the chat, was anyone here a part of the scholarship event that we had a few weeks ago? Was anyone here for that discussion? I believe it was led by me. If you were, just drop a yes in the chat if you were. Okay, I'm seeing some yeses, one no in there. Okay, all right. Colleen, were you there? I can't believe you were there. All right, so with that being said, you guys heard the information. We gave you as many resources as possible and different approaches to applying for scholarships. We can definitely have a follow-up if need be, but it's here. The scholarship challenge is here. We're giving you money to go find money. I don't know of any other thing we can do more than that to assist you in terms of getting money. Yes, Chad did help lead the session, absolutely. So big shouts out to Chad. Chad, thank you so much. But the deadline is March 31st, midnight. Submit your applications, please. Email us as soon as possible. We want to give this money away. All right. So that's the scholarship challenge. I don't know what else I can say about it except do it. We need you guys to apply for as many scholarships as possible so we can promote this, and hopefully this inspires some students next year to do the same thing.
That's great, Tron. Thank you so much. Mo, is your computer ready? Because we can keep going and come back if we need to.
Yes, keep going. I'll be ready hopefully in a few.
Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about
Colleen.
Yes, sir.
Colleen, I'm sorry. Just one quick note. Somebody Jashia asked a great question. Was the scholarship conversation, was that presentation recorded? It was recorded, and it's on our Bridge to Life YouTube page. You can go to Bridge to Life on YouTube and watch everything that we do. We archive everything on our YouTube channel. So please go to our YouTube channel, watch it. You'll learn more about this scholarship challenge and also ways of finding and identifying scholarships. Back to you, Colleen.
Thank you, Tron. Thank you for that, and great point. So we're going to cover $3 related opportunities associated with B2l, and I'm so glad, Chad, that you and Samantha and Roselaw are here because you've been active in the student-led racial equity social justice opportunity. Carolina will be joining to talk about the social media ambassadors, and then we're going to talk about the internship with Land Infotech. So the racial equity social justice opportunity is a group of students that are tackling racism in public education. Before I ask Chad and Samantha if they're willing to talk a little bit about this and you read through this, I want to play you a short video. This is amazing and important to preface what we're going to talk about.
Some people are born into families where they have to walk miles just to get water. All I have to do is turn on a faucet. That's privilege. If you have ever tried to change your speech, if you were embarrassed about your clothes or about me, never think twice about calling the police or trouble.
I think privilege is when some people have some things and other people don't have things.
I feel privilege is something that you don't even really have control over. I think it'd be silly for me to say I don't have a fair amount of privilege, considering like the country I live in and the job I get to do and the college I was allowed to go to.
I suppose being a white male will help me end up somewhere towards the front, but I'll take a few steps back from being gay.
I don't think I'll make it to the front. I think I'll maybe be in the middle. That's just the gut feeling I have.
If your parents work nights and weekends to support your family, take one step back.
If you can show affection for your romantic partner in public without fear of ridicule or violence, take one step forward. If you are embarrassed about your clothes or house while growing up, take one step back. If you have ever been diagnosed as having a physical or mental illness or disability, take one step back. If you've ever been bullied or made fun of based on something you can't change, take one step back. If you get time off for your religious holidays, take one step forward. If you came from a supportive family environment, if you can see a doctor whenever you feel the need, if you're able to move through the world without fear, if you took out loans for your education, if there were more than 50 books in your house right now. So these are your final positions.
I think it felt kind of strange for everyone.
It's a hard thing to discuss or even reflect on. It was very awkward. I think when you can represent it so visually like this and so immediately, it definitely takes on a new form.
I think we were like all joking around in the beginning. It was pretty lighthearted, and as soon as the questions started coming in, the mood shifted immediately, and we all it was just silent. Just looking back and seeing like a bunch of people behind you is not a good feeling.
It's like weird how you want to like hold on to explaining a certain privilege, like, oh, but that's not actually me because like I had to work really hard for that. So it's weird to like take a step forward when you feel like you're taking a step forward with someone else, but you wear a lot of the baggage of like, it was like more emotional than I thought it would be.
It reminded me of when they talk about slavery in high school and you feel like angry for a few days, but then you just realize like, this is how it is.
For me, it was kind of frustrating almost to look back and see how much further some people were behind me, and realizing that, a lot of that stuff, no amount of hard work or even legislation can make up that gap.
It's interesting being an Asian American because you're not really sure where you fall on the spectrum of privilege.
I know that for me, one of the reasons I ended up so far back was that there were questions around safety as an African American, as a woman, as a gay woman. There are just so many different ways that I don't feel safe.
I feel like I just learned to be grateful for what you have. We're in such a huge society where it's always complaining about what you don't have.
It just shows you that for some families, like each family, you're meant to do better. My grandparents did good, my parents did good, and I'll do even better.
I do think if you're not like aware of privilege, you should do this exercise, but it's more complicated.
Okay, so a couple things, right? This is important work. A lot of it is uncomfortable, but I want to address one of the comments that was made in that video by the young man that said, in reference to slavery and current situation in our country at the moment, is that this is just how it is. This is not how it should be, and we don't want it to continue to be the way it is. So we want to do our part with your leadership to help tackle one aspect of racism. And so with that, B2l has set up a number of informational interviews with amazing people that understand this space really, really well. These are short 30 to 45 minute sessions, and students that actively engage and participate in those, and students are rotating the host role, and also get engaged to summarize the recommendations at the end of the year to present to school district leaders and community leaders, will earn money. So we are already booked to present at Broward School's Equity Conference on June 11th. And I know we have two amazing student leaders that are already involved in the informational interviews that have been conducted. We've got 3 more scheduled for next week with the amazing David Watkins, with Dr. Candice Gibson from Broward College, and our very own Shaba Kojo. That's just next week. Chad or Samantha, do you want to add anything or weigh in on what I've just said?
Hello?
Hi, Chad.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm in the car right now, and but I do want to just give my opinion on the racial equity and social justice interviews. I think, am I coming in okay? Because I don't want to just talk if I'm coming in terribly.
Well, you're not coming- you're not coming- You're not coming in great, Chad, but it's important what you're saying, so.
Okay. So basically, I think that attending these racial equity meetings and these interviews is just so important because a lot of us kind of don't really think about race, or we know about race, but we don't try to have a deeper understanding. And by going to these meetings, especially with Shapa Kojo, he has like all the knowledge in the world. He is like an absolute expert, in my opinion, from what I've heard him and how eloquently he talks about racism and how deep it is and how systemic it is. So I definitely vouch that you should all just go ahead and just join one meeting. And if you do, and if you could tell me that you haven't learned anything from it that you didn't know, then all right. But I just encourage you all to join at least one meeting. That's all.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chad. And Samantha's in a noisy place, so she chatted that she thinks it's a great learning experience to learn more about everyone's interpretation of racism and how to combat it in our community. It's a reminder to never feel like you have no power to make a change. It all starts with talking within your community. So that's fabulous, Samantha. So here's the thing. This is a small group of students. We're not looking for dozens of students to participate. We're looking for a handful of students that are interested in being involved. If you are, send us an email to bridgetolifesfl@gmail.com. So that's it. Any questions from any of the students on the call before we move on? Okay. All right. The next dollar-related opportunity, and I'm thrilled that we have with us our leader in marketing, our technical guru in the digital space, and just an awesome design brain trust, Carolina Lopez, to talk to you about the other opportunity to become a B2l social media ambassador. And I think we have a few of those students on the call as well. Carolina, thank you for joining us. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, thank you for having me. Happy Thursday, everyone. I will tell you that this social media ambassador program has been such a really cool experience. For those that watch the YouTuber conference, I will tell you that so many people commented on the student-led promo videos, right? And so if we had your Instagram account, we tagged you. If not, we gave you copyright information. But it goes to show that we can have these amazing meetings like we're having today, right? What's stopping us from having double, triple the number of students, right? And it's all about marketing, right? When was the last time you all went on Amazon or an online store, right? And you find that there is a product that looks the same. There's like 5 products that look the same. What makes you buy a product, 1 versus 2? And it's usually packaging and marketing, right? So it's not only the content of what you're buying. In this case, we're talking about a way to get prepared for college, right? That's a very important product. But how do we get more students to take advantage, whether it's this year or individuals that are going to be in high school next year? How do we get the message out? How do we get information about all the scholarships that Colleen and Tron research for us? How do we get involved in the racial equity program, social media ambassador program, and so on and so forth, right? And it's all about marketing. So I know that that's a long way to say it's an important thing. We need you. And just like Colleen was saying earlier, it is not quantity, but quality, right? Once we have a consistent flow, we're using the same colors, the same messaging. We're figuring out, why one particular post did better in TikTok. I will tell you, when we first started TikTok, because of those social media ambassadors, right? They were the first ones, first meeting, within the first 5 minutes, they're like, we don't have a TikTok. And you know what? We said, you're absolutely right. We opened TikTok. The first couple of posts probably had 5 likes, and it was probably individuals in that social media ambassador group. We posted a video yesterday about the YouTube awards, And we got like almost 400 hits within the hour, right? And it's a way that we will continue improving our process. So what are we looking for? If you've been a part of the social media team, we certainly want you to continue being active. If you haven't been part of the team, tomorrow we're having a meeting between 3 and 4 p.m. And we're going to go through some of the incentives to be a part of the social media ambassadorship. So instead of having meetings where you come when you're able to, we're looking for a small quality team workforce that we're going to meet every 2 weeks. We will keep it short, 30-minute meetings twice a month. We'll figure out as a group what time works best for all of us, right? Like what time works best for you, and then be accountable to each other that we will continue flooding our social media outlets with good quality content. If you look at any of our meetings, I mean, I learn stuff, and it's been a minute since I've been in high school. I tell Colleen all the time that I wish I would have had a program like B2l in high school. My life choices and career choices might have looked a little differently. And so I think it's important to elevate this program. So we are looking for individuals that can dedicate 30 minutes every 2 weeks. If you have a design inclination, great. If not, we will teach you, right? And then accountability, right? So as we're working together, once you sign on, we're looking for individuals not to come in once a while, but like every 2 weeks we will meet. We do our part to bring in speakers to teach you tools about different platforms that you can use. We want to make you better. And I think we've said before, yes, this helps B2l management, right? This does help B2l marketing, but this also helps you. I will tell you that when you graduate high school or when you're looking for a summer job, whether it's virtual during COVID or not, jobs sometimes have a lot of applications, but having that specialized skill set, I know how to do social media marketing. I know how to do search engine optimization. I know how to do these very trending keywords, right? You may not necessarily start a minimum wage job. Like these are jobs that are in high demand. Whether you choose to do marketing as a professional for the rest of your life, or whether you bring that marketing flair to your profession. Imagine that you are owning a law firm and, marketing. Now you have to go find, clients. Maybe, you decide to be a YouTube star and everything in between, right? Marketing affects the way you do business. I don't care what you decide to do, whether it's for profit or nonprofit. So the skills and the tools that we hope to share with you and groom you to master helps B2l as much as it'll help you and really your future marketability. And so if you are up for a challenge, it's fun, but it's really informative. We would love to see you tomorrow, 3 to 4, and then every 2 weeks after. And by the way, let's talk about like some of the gimmies, right? Like some of the goodies. So if you've already been part of the social media ambassador program, you certainly qualify for financial incentives. If this is the first time, there's a point system. So, depending on the effort that you put in, you might earn the $100 in the first month or, in May. So the whole point is there is an opportunity to earn funding while you craft, learn this new craft, become, ready for life after high school. And by the way, the person with the highest points gets a personalized letter of recommendation, along with community service hours that all of you will get. So I promise you, it's good for us, but it's also good for you. And I look forward to seeing you. Follow our Remind group, which will put the information in the chat box, and would love to answer any questions that you have. And more importantly, is anyone interested in coming to tomorrow's meeting?
So this is an amazing opportunity. 2 30-minute sessions per month with Carolina is worth a gold mine, right? Her technical expertise, her design expertise. So this is definitely a win-win, right? B2l benefits from students' work product, but you also become much more expert in many of the mechanisms that have to do with any future career pathway. So please do take advantage. Join the Remind class, which we'll put in the chat. And the meeting is tomorrow if you want to join, 3 to 4 p.m. So Jude Lynn, go ahead. Juvika, if I'm saying your name correctly. Carolina, can you put the Remind class in the chat for folks to join? Is that the easiest thing to do?
And I'll private message the ones that are interested to send you a text message to join Remind directly if you still have issues. And look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And I will put the Zoom link in the chat box as well.
Okay, fantastic. And Carolina, thank you so much. And I think just to reiterate, this is a commitment, right? This is not dropping in and out. This is a commitment to being a part of this program. So you can say B2l Social Media Ambassador on your resume, earn the letter of recommendation, earn the community service hours, earn the money. So look forward to it. And we applaud all of you that have been involved so far. I think we've got a number of folks here, Roselaw, Kiefer, I'm sure I'm going to leave folks out. Layla, Alexis, so many of you have done amazing work already. So
and we have one other one. Josiah is interested.
Oh, good. Yeah. Shazai has expressed interest in the past. So please do sign up if you'd like to. We'd love to have you. All right. So last dollar opportunity we're going to talk about today. An amazing internship opportunity with an amazing organization here locally. I don't know if you guys realize how special Land Infotech is, but they're all things tech for a lot of businesses in our community, but they also do so much to help out and reach out into the community with their digital skill set, with their expertise. We've got the CEO of Land Infotech here with us today, Michael Goldstein, to talk about this VMA opportunity. And he was just sharing with me earlier that through some sort of digital mechanism with many computers, he was able to get vaccines out to a number of his community network folks that really needed it. So just anything and everything that this group does, led by this wonderful man, I would say this is a wonderful, dollar-oriented, work-based opportunity. Somebody should jump on this. With that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Mr. Goldstein. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Colleen. This is great. I'm happy to be here today. And man, the experience that you guys, the opportunities that everybody has out here, that's amazing. So I'm Michael Goldstein. I own a company called Land Infotech. Like Colleen said, IT to everyone. But what we've done is that we've turned a lot of our services back into giving back to the community. So I will say that every day, and sorry I was late, Colleen, I was on 2 other computers on different other events that are out there. And, you know, we're involved in a lot of Chamber of Commerce's, we're involved in a lot of speaking organizations, networking, and we're looking for a virtual marketing assistant, somebody that will come on to meetings with us. We'll teach you to network, you know, business networking. I learn something every time I'm on one of these events from other people that are out there. And these are local virtual events. You know, we speak a lot, and we want someone to just learn, want to give them some networking skills, want them to work with our team that's out there. You know, we don't employ salespeople anymore. We call them, you know, community relationship people. And you know, these people are out there just helping to talk about IT, listening to what's out there, you know, looking for opportunities. Just like the last offering that was out there, you know, we're heavily involved in social. One of the guys on our team, I can't even keep up with him, you know, Glenn, of everything that he's posted out there. I have been speaking at Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce, all not-for-profits. I run the technology committee for the Greater Fort Lauderdale Chamber, and I'm on their board of directors. You know, we get to interact with so many different people, and we will give you those communication skills, because I need to brush up lots of times on even my communication skills on there. And I think that that's the best opportunity that we can have out there. Meet people in the community. You know, we have a lot of knowledge to pass out. You learn a little about, you know, how a small business, you know, I started this company 11 years ago with 4 people, you know, we're up to 22. I employ my 32-year-old son, my 30-year-old son that's out there, and we really just want to give you some life skills that are in place there. It's definitely a paid internship. We would love to have as much time as you can commit to us, every single day. Last night I was on an event where we had a magician. Saturday night we did something for a not-for-profit called Gilders Club. A lot of people from Saturday Night Live were live on there. We volunteer in a lot of different organizations to help. And I think it's great to learn to give back. You'll get some communication skills. You'll learn about business. You'll learn about meeting people. It's not always about, what you could do for them or they could do from you. I love these kind of things. Colleen will say, I'm on a ton of different things that are out there. So great opportunity. Love to see if any of you want to jump on board and, meet our team, work with us, grow with us.
It's fantastic, Michael. This is just a huge opportunity. So what's the best way for folks to get in touch? I think you said last time to go to the Land Infotech website. And
what I'll do is I'll put in the chat our sales email address that goes right out to our team. Just put in, VMA internship and, reach out to us. I handle all this. It's not like we pass you off on that kind of thing. I will tell you, fun things like I just got nominated as the, Fort Lauderdale Chamber member of the month. The Hollywood Chamber put us as the IT innovator out there. So I think it's a lot of fun things, a lot of cool people. We work with the Florida Panthers Hockey Club. We work with so many different organizations that are just kind of interesting to learn about.
It's a phenomenal opportunity. So we've got the email that's been put in there. Folks, please give a shout out to Michael. I mean, please say thank you and acknowledge this is a rare opportunity for an organization to work directly with high school students. You don't find that all that often, but the flexibility, the learning, I think the care and nurturing that will take place as a result of this particular organization and this particular leader is very, very special. So please absolutely follow up. And Michael will continue to promote this opportunity.
No, it's great. And, like I said, we have so much knowledge to give. That's really what we're looking for this. And as Carolina said, it's going to be great for you. It's going to be great for us. That's why we really want to work out there. And I'm actually glad that Tron turned his video off. Man, that was mesmerizing, that background that was out there.
Duly noted. I'm going to see, Colleen, I got to keep my video turned off. See, Michael said
I was
so.
just joking. I loved it. And, it's a great little catch, great little icebreaker. These are the kind of things that we all want to learn from different age organizations. There you go, man. Oh.
Just asked a question. I think this is a reasonable one, but I think you're going to say, okay, Michael, we can push this out on our social media channels. Okay.
Definitely. And, even if you have an hour a week to where we really want to spread the wealth and our guys really want to work with you.
Fantastic. Michael, thank you. As always so good to see you. Thank you for sparing minutes for us today. And
no, that's great.
Yeah, this wonderful opportunity for students. So fantastic. All right. So we're going to go back to Coach Mo Corker, who I think is now ready with slides, correct?
Yes.
So I'm going to stop share, Mo, and give you the floor. And you can take it from there. We're so thrilled to have you. And like I refer to Mo, she's the goddess of all things finance. Can talk about it in a way that is heard and understood easily. I've seen her mentioned more often in the month of March in her different speaking engagements. She is the woman of Women's History Month that I've seen most often. So we're going to have her, talk a little bit and then maybe share a few more events that she's speaking at that you guys might be interested in. So I'm going to turn the floor over to you, Mo. Thank you for gracing us. And by the way, that scholarship prize, Mo is the one that added that second $100 grand prize to the equation for everybody at the end of this month. So thank you, Mo. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Colleen. It is such a pleasure to be back in the presence of Bridge to Life, Broward to College. But before Michael goes, I want him to know that his team are doing a phenomenal job. I also work with Glenn and David Reese. So you've got some great people, you know, out there doing the things that need to be done in the community. And it does speak to how it is really a small world. So I'm going to get these screens up. And guys, you gotta love a MacBook. It locked me out for like 10 minutes, but we're gonna go ahead and get started because a little birdie told me that some of you all wanted to learn about adulting. So I want to just welcome everyone to the Comerica Bank Money Sense Financial Education Series. Today, we're going to cover a topic that I think all of you all are probably, you know, thinking about and wondering, you know, how am I going to navigate this when I become 18? And the thing is, when you think about Adulting 101, there's no plan, right? No one's giving you directions. And we all come from a world and a society where we need to follow directions. I've heard so many people on this webinar speak about marketing. I'm currently getting my master's in marketing at FIU. Everything is about the customer journey, but also it's about us having to provide the direction that we want customers to go, because customers are used to having some type of direction given to them. So I like to look at it as the same way when we turn 18. You know, where's the map to being this perfect adult that everybody wants us to be, right? It's how do we understand what am I supposed to do to have a healthy financial lifestyle, make the money and be a millionaire, because that's what we all want, right? Where's the map to success? I want to still find it too at 44, and I still don't have it, but we're going to help try to give you some tools and tips so that you won't make some of the mistakes that some of us other adults probably on this call never got the information so that we wouldn't have made those mistakes. So what is adulting? Okay, adulting, we know, is the practice of behaving in a way that is responsible of an adult mindset. But we often as adults expect you guys to literally put that cap and gown on, graduate, and somehow you've got the magical keys to now being the perfect adult, right? Put a yes in the chat if you understand what I'm talking about. How many of you all feel like the expectation is already being put in your head that you should have this kind of figured out by now when you get ready to turn 18, which is sometimes a little impossible and can be a little stressful as well. The one problem, though, that we all face, especially our youth, is when it comes to adulting, is how you're going to attract money. How are you going to survive? What does it look like when you actually have to go out of your parents' or your guardian's home? How are you going to take care of yourself? Where's the keys to success of understanding how to budget? Has anyone sat down and talked to you how to budget? Those are the things that unfortunately get missed because a lot of youth, we're ready to party. Think about it. You want to be free. That's the whole key that we forget when we're younger. You just want to be free. You don't want someone checking on you, DMing you, asking you to check in, text and tell you where you are. Or the famous one I've always heard, why do you need to know what I need the $20 for, Mom? Those are all things that I know we as youth are looking forward to not having to deal with, which unfortunately puts you into the adulting stage. The harsh reality, though, is, let me tell you, when you want to become an adult, things are going to come with that territory. You're going to have to learn a lot of skills and tips and tricks to being able to navigate responsibly in this financial journey that you're going to have to go on like everyone else. And it's going to be called a simple 4-letter word, LIFE. It's life. Life is going to happen to each and every one of you all, but all of you on this workshop are going to be given tools and tips, not only by myself, but people like Bridge to Life, people like Broward College, people like Infotech. They're coming on here to try to give you the tools to be able to navigate successfully when you think about your financial journey and even your career. I've heard people talk about internships. Please make sure you take advantage of that, because that's an adulting 101 step, is when you hear someone saying, hey, I've got an opportunity for you, which they don't come that often. And we're going to go to that next slide. No one, when you get older, is going to say, hey, I'm ready to give you a whole lot of money because I care about you. There's going to be no handouts when you get older. There's no one waiting to say, you know, I just was in a really good mood today, so I thought I'd just give away all my money to somebody who I just think needs it. You know, I'm looking for that person too. So if y'all happen to run into her or him or whoever, please tell them to give Coach Mo some money as well. But it just doesn't work that way. You're going to have to learn that even though if you have all the money in the world, that is not what is going to keep you successful in having a financial healthy life. And the reason I say that is because we've all been there. If only I had $1 million, right? How many of us feel that? I mean, I felt it. I'm like, you know, if I only had $1 million, my problems would be solved. Then I have to sit and say to myself, let's look at all the people who become millionaires and who unfortunately end up filing bankruptcy. Let's look at all the celebrities who end up going broke. I mean, I'm sure they had the same mindset as me, that if only they had $1 million or an abundance amount of money that's just falling from the sky, they'd be able to be okay, right? Well, that brings us to a lot of questions. Why do some of those people who make it to millionaire status end up broke? What is the reason? And I have to tell you, the reason is definitely because a lot of people do not understand needs versus wants. Some simple little words, right? But those simple little words require a dedicated type of mindset. And I'm going to tell you this, it is the key to success. Having a sustained mindset, being able to put your mind to something that you really, truly want to achieve and accomplish is the first step to being an adult. And a lot of us adults, I like to be real, we still got a lot of work to do as well when it comes to understanding a healthy mindset. Now, needs versus wants. When we're thinking about adulting 101, the first thing you have to do is understand the difference between the two. When you're younger, I remember even people saying, Mom, it's only $1. It's only $20. It's only, you know, that word used to come out. I don't know if some of you all say only, but if you say only or have said it's only, put it in the chat box. Just type the word only so I can see how many of y'all used to say that, because when you become an adult, that word only is going to go away. But the goal is we want to make sure that you're not forced to budget. We want to make sure that you're able to budget because you choose to budget. And let me explain to you what that means. When you think about budgeting, everyone seems to have a great concept of budgeting when you're down to the very last dollar. I'm going to say that one more time. Everyone seems to have it down packed when you're down to the last dollar of how to budget. Example, you have $20 left. You're like, well, guess I can't go to the movies. Guess I can't go do this. Guess I can't spend money because I only have what? $20. What we want you to do, and a part of adulting, is being able to budget when you have an abundance of money. And when I say an abundance, whatever level that may be, if you're getting money from a paycheck or if you're getting money from scholarships, and I know hopefully most of you all are taking advantage of applying for scholarships, this is where you have to think about needs versus wants. Because if you allow yourself to be over consumerized, and I hope some of my fellow marketers on here don't get upset, but that's what the world is here for to do. They're over consumerizing you every second that they can. The goal is to make you spend more money. And they have things like cookies, Facebook Pixel, all those little things that you accept, okay? When something pops up, they want to know where you're searching. They want to know what it is that you like to look at, because they're trying to find a way to make you not realize what a need is and make you somehow mentally feel that your wants are actually a need. Because the more you see things being popped up to you, the more you see things coming on the screen, it starts to get a little blurry into understanding what's really a need versus want, right? So we've got to also think about, I spoke about this last time I was on one of these workshops with you all. When we think about the student loan debt crisis that we are in this country, it is at a $1.6 trillion amount. And that's easy for me to explain to you why. Let me give you a scenario. When you all graduate from high school, saying that hopefully you may have to get a loan unless you don't get these great scholarships that everyone's trying to help you get. We're going to go into if you have to get a loan, because we have to be realistic. Some of you may go for a loan. The cousins, Sally, Freddie, all these people, they're going to come and say, we're going to give you $5,000 for your first semester tuition. Now, I don't know about you, but just graduating from high school, if somebody says, I want to give you $5,000, that sounds real good, right? And I don't have to pay it back right away. Well, that sounds even better, right? But then what happens is you end up taking a full $5,000 when, let's say, your classes for that semester was only $2,500. What then happens with the other $2,500? You feel like you've got money, right? And it easily starts to just build up like that, because now that extra $2,500 that you have, you're going to not most likely spend it on needs. It will be mostly spent on what? On wants, because it's not money that you even had to earn. It's money that someone gave to you without you realizing it's going to come with a price. So we're going to talk about another main topic that I feel is so important when we think about having a healthy financial future, and it's delayed gratification. Now, I had to put a copy of this on here because, back in the days, and I'm probably a little outdating myself, I used to see all the kids having to show off their Gucci belt, especially when they went to prom. Like, it was the Instagram thing for everyone to have their shirt tucked all the way in so that you could show you got a Gucci belt. But I want to ask you, if you had the option today, as it says on the screen, to go get a Gucci belt, but you had to have delayed gratification, meaning in option A, you'd have to save for 3 months, meaning you can't wear that Gucci belt right away because you're going to save for the money. Or B, you're going to say, you know what? I'm able to get a credit card now because I'm adulting. I'm going to be 18. I should be able to get some type of a credit card, which we'll talk about that in a few. And I only have to pay $40 and I get to look good and wear the belt. Oh, wow. That's like a no-brainer, right? Let me ask you all, which one of you all, and I want the adult answer. I want your answer, not the adult answer. And what do I mean by that? Don't tell Coach Mo what you think is right. I want your honest answer. So if you had the opportunity to go and wear that Gucci belt right away versus having to save, which one would you choose? So I'm going to give you all a second to put in the comments, either A or B. How many people would be disciplined to try to save? And how many people are saying, you know what, I'm going to keep it real. I probably want to wear the belt right away. Now, I don't know if we have anybody that's looking at the comments or if there's any chats going in there that's showing how many A's and B's we have. But
they're all A's so far, Mo.
All A's? Well, I'm excited, and I hope that wasn't the adult answer, but if you all are some savers on here, then we are on the right track, and you're on the right track to having a financially healthy lifestyle. Because if you would have picked B, you would end up almost paying $765 for a belt that would have only cost you, and I say only because that's still a lot of money for a designer item, but it will cost you $495. But you would have saved that money. You would not owe the interest on top of that money. And then guess what? Now you walk away with knowing you budgeted for the 3 months of something that you wanted, okay? Now we talk about the credit cards because guess what? As soon as you turn 18, the credit card offers are going to come. They're going to start coming in the mail because guess what? The algorithm already knows you're out there. They know when you're turning 18. That's why people ask for data, because someone has to know how and who is my target audience. Well, guess what? Credit cards, next target audience are you. They're waiting on you to turn 18. They're waiting on you not to have the skill set and the mindset to know that, guess what? If I get a credit card, I'm only getting it because I have a mindset that's going to help me make sure that I can understand how to be responsible with a credit card. Because when you get a credit card, if you don't have the practice of delayed gratification, a lot of things can happen and you can end up really jeopardizing your credit at a very early age. And we don't want that to happen. Having bad credit is really hard, especially when now credit impacts your ability to get car insurance. A lot of you all are going to say, I want a car. Well, if you end up messing up your credit, you get higher car insurance, or sometimes they may even decline you. Sometimes employers pull credit checks. before they hire you. So there's so many things that, you know, not being responsible when it comes to applying for credit and how it can get you in trouble if you haven't decided that I am going to have a clear budget in mind. I know how to spend my money. This is an adult decision and mindset, but I got this. So as long as you feel that you can budget, I want you all to understand, Coach Mo is not telling you don't apply for credit. You will need credit. Everyone needs credit. Do not run away from credit. People who tell you don't get credit have problems managing credit themselves. Credit is something necessary and you will need it, but having credit and knowing how to manage it is going to be the key to keep you out of trouble. So I'm going to go to a real quick question here. Oh, before we go back, I wanted to mention the budgeting rule so that you all can write this down. There are certain ways that people recommend we all budget, and this is only a suggestion for you. As you get older and you start working and you start having an income, you'll have to find out what is the magical number for you. What's going to make you comfortable? What kind of lifestyle do you really want to live? And I say that because a lot of people often look at the right now. You can't look at the right now. You've got to look at where you want to be, because if you're managing your money to where you are now, then you're definitely not forward thinking to where you want to be and how comfortable of a life you want to live. So a lot of people use a rule called 50-30-20 rule. That is, you take 50% of your income and you apply that towards your needs, i.e. your rent, your car payment, your food, anything that's, you know, classified as a need, something that you need to survive, okay? And then the 30%, guess what? You know, people are kind of smart. They're like, who wants to just save all their money? No, that's just not realistic, right? So they give you 30%, budget 30% towards your wants, because you want to be able to reward yourself, but you need to reward yourself within a budgeted restraint. So that 30% is another guideline. The last 20% is set aside for you to think about your future. How are you going to save? How do you put money aside? That has to be a calculation of at least 20%. And hopefully, you know, Colleen and Tron will bring me back and we'll talk about what savings really looks like, because there are a lot of unfortunate, you know, myths out there that when you get older, you just get a 401k and you're going to be okay. No. At this day and age, I know personally the lifestyle that I want to live, a 401k is not going to cut it just for me, because I want to have an animal print cane when I get older and I want to live a life that I want to live. So a 401k is not going to be enough. So we'll talk about that, you know, the next time I get to come on. But we're going to have a quick knowledge check. What is one behavior that is necessary to have a healthy financial future? Can somebody go ahead and put in there? Do you think it's A, make more money, B, have discipline, C, saving all your money, or D, you just ball out? Colleen, do we have anybody putting anything in the chat?
Everyone is saying B, and we also get the occasional humorous response from folks. By the way, not everyone is a fan of Gucci belts, so that wasn't a problem for the last example. But yeah, everyone has said B so far.
All righty, well, that is awesome, because having a disciplined mindset, as we discussed, is definitely the way to go to have a healthy financial lifestyle. Now, as we talk about adulting, I wanted to give you all a quick snapshot of some things that you probably have not been privy to because you've been probably sheltered. I mean, adults don't normally go speaking about how much a house costs, how much an actual car costs, how much it costs to buy food, how much your healthcare costs, and how much it costs just to give you those, you know, clothes that you want to make sure that you look good. But I want you to pay attention. In Broward County, just Broward County in itself, our county itself has one of the highest housing rates as far as the prices of our houses. Broward County, to afford a house, can almost cost you over $20,000 a year. And now that's just on average, okay? And that data is a little old. So an average cost of a house can range from anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000. Now, I've gone over this slide before, and I don't want to scare you all, because some kids have said after I've gotten done, well, wait a minute, I'm starting in the negative before I even really get started. But guess what? You'll have an idea of understanding what real life looks like when it comes to actually saying, I want to be an adult and I'm ready to get out there and do it. The average transportation costs about $9,000 a year. Then you're looking at insurance, which it could also run you almost $1,000 to sometimes $4,000, depending on your driving record. Then we've got to think about gas. And you'll always have that friend that says, can you take me everywhere? Can you take me everywhere? And until you become an adult, you're going to realize that gas is not free. So now you're going to start having to tell your friend, listen, I need you to help me with the gas, because you'll start to realize how expensive it is. We don't want to forget about how much food costs. Food is so expensive. So we're looking at almost $6,000 to $8,000 a year. And the last thing that I want to speak on, because we're not going to really go into the clothing too much, is healthcare. That is the one thing that I think is a missed topic for a lot of our young people who are graduating, is to understand that at this time, you're going to be 18. So your healthcare is going to start to rely on you. You're going to have to say, I need to make sure I go to the doctor every year. You're going to have to make sure you go to the dentist. You're going to have to make sure you go get your eyes and your ears checked. The things that are, you need to make sure you're taking care of is yourself, because if you don't take care of your health, eventually your lack of taking care of your health will cost you way much more money as you get older. So incorporate, Colleen, keep me fair on time, because I'm not sure where I am.
How close are you to done?
Almost 5 minutes.
Okay.
So we went quickly over the 50-30-20 rule. And if I'm getting close, I definitely would like to share this one video with you all, because it happens to speak about something that I feel is very, very, very important. And it's called compound interest. And I don't want you to take it from me. You can take it from her, because she explains it so very well.
You should stay until the end of this video. Trust me. The rule of 72 is the amount of years it takes for your ROI, return on investment, to double. The higher your interest rate is the least amount of years it'll take for your money to double. A lower interest rate means it'll take more years for your money to double. Example, let's take 3 individuals, all aged 18 years old. Their names are Alicia, Tyrone, and Shauna. They are all working and have saved $10,000. Each have taken their money and invested it. Alicia has invested her money at an interest rate of 4% return. To know how long it will take to double her money, we must divide 72 by the interest rate of 4%. 72 divided by 4 equals 18. This means it will take 18 years for $10,000 to double. Let's look at how Alicia's money will grow and what her age is every 18 years. At 36 years old, her money would double to $20,000. By the time she is 54 years old, her money would have doubled to $40,000. And finally, at 72 years old, her money would have increased to $60,000. Unfortunately, Alicia will have to work a job even in her old age, because $60,000 at 72 years old? That's not enough money to live on. Tyrone has invested his money at an interest rate of 6%. Again, we must divide 72 by the interest rate of 6. 72 divided by 6 equals 12. It will take 12 years for Tyrone's money to double. At 30 years old, Tyrone's money would double to $20,000. At 42 years old, his money would double to $40,000. At 54 years old, his money would double to $80,000. And by the time he is 66, his money will have doubled to $160,000. This is still not enough money to live on. Shauna has a higher interest rate of 12% return. 72 divided by 12 equals 6. This means it will take 6 years for $10,000 to double. When she is 24 years old, her $10,000 would have doubled to $20,000. By the time she is 30, it would have doubled to $40,000. At 36 years old, her money would double to $80,000. By the time she is 42 years old, that initial $10,000 investment would have compounded to $160,000. At 48 years old, Shauna's investment would have increased to $320,000. At the early age of 54, Shauna can retire because her investment would have reached $640,000. As you can see, Shauna can retire at a younger age and doubles her money quicker every 6 years. Often, people think that saving money in a bank is the best way to build wealth, but Leaving your money in the bank is a $600,000 mistake. Banks use the rule of 72 to make money on the cash you leave in their banks. They take 12% and leave you with 4%. They earn $600,000 with your $10,000 and give you $40,000. You must get mad at your financial situation now, not tomorrow, because anything you need today, you should have started it 5 years ago. For your future to look bright, you need to put in the work today. Peace.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed it from her. I mean, she said it as great as I could even say it myself. You have to start early when it comes to savings. You have to make sure you understand what compound interest is and knowing what interest rates are and things of that nature. And do not fall victim. The last thing on the slide there is to the payday circle of life. We all get paid. We all feel like a millionaire. We all want to treat ourselves. Then we want to feel like I'm rich. I can go out to eat as much as I want to. Then something psychologically hits us and says, okay, wait a minute, I may need to be a little responsible. But then you say, oh, you know what? I'm going to get paid again in 2 more weeks. So I can go out and shop a little bit more. And then you're looking at your bank account and you're saying, help. So I hope that you understand the key to Adulting 101 when it comes to your financial journey is to having an understanding of what your needs versus wants are, having a strong mindset, and making sure that you invest in budgeting. Thank you, everyone. Colleen, I'll turn it back over to you.
Wow, that was so incredible. No, please, 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 please say you'll come back, please. We need more of you. I mean, that was just a remarkable presentation. Any comments or feedback from the students, please enter them in the chat. I think you'll agree. I mean, that was just remarkably perfect, just perfect. Tron, you've got something to say. Go ahead.
So I'll start by saying this. Everything that I learned today is it's just hitting me in the face, because these are things that I should have done and that I should be doing, but I definitely should have done 10 years ago at the very least. So, no shame in my game. I'm 37. And I literally a few years ago started investing my money properly, correctly, and appropriately. But I'm telling y'all, everything you heard is stuff that you can start implementing right this minute. And it starts with your mindset. It starts with the questions that Mo asked, A or B. Are you willing to make that unnecessary purchase? Someone said on a cheap belt. Gucci's not necessarily cheap. I don't like Gucci, but there are tons of belts. No, it was actually the comment was there are other belts that are cheaper. Yes, there are other belts that cost less. But anyway, having that mindset now and starting to invest your money now, it pays off in the long run. And I know 25, 26, 27 years of age, that seems like a long ways away. Trust me, when you leave high school, the time will fly by. I look back and I say, wow, I'm already 37. What in the world? Where did the time go? So invest your money wisely now and take advantage of Mo. She's here. She's one of our contacts. She's a resource, and she's here for y'all. That's it.
So Mo, we didn't ask you this. Mo and I talked earlier today about April is Financial Literacy Month. So we are looking to host a financial literacy, financial career panel in the month of April. We'll be back in touch. Do you want to share any events you're speaking at where you're going to be talking about this topic and in general or more broadly or more specifically?
Actually, the next upcoming is going to be more for adults. So looking forward to the opportunity to come back and provide some investment tips to the youth on here. In order to speak about investments, you have to have your series license. So Coach Mo is not an investment certified person, but I do want the kids on here to start learning the terminology and getting a normalization of what it sounds like to invest your money. Because I'm sure they're probably like, that sounds all easy and all, but nobody's telling me how to do it. So hopefully, if you have a bank account with whomever, Take advantage to go into the bank account and say, I want to sit down and speak with one of the personal bankers. That is their job to help you understand the various products and services that are available. And a lot of people, because we go in the bank, we usually just go straight to the teller line to do services. Please don't ignore the people, because guess what? There's investment people right inside your bank, and there's relationship bankers inside your bank who can help you find out how to get a secured credit card to start to build your credit needs. There's also people in there that can help you understand how to start investing your money. You're never too young. If you are under 18, find an adult, someone that can go in there with you, but start talking about it and use your phone. Let me tell you, the technology that we have, you have everything at your fingertips. There are kids that are 15, 16 that are becoming millionaires on their own. So I know that each and every one of you on this workshop can have the same skills and ability to do the same.
Wonderful. So we are definitely going to have you back. We're getting that feedback in the chat. Mo, thank you, thank you, thank you. Bless you for all you're doing. You're just remarkable. All right, so we're wrapping things up here next month. So we had Mo this month because that was a request from students last month. Next month, we have the mayor of Oakland Park has agreed to come talk to us about SMART goals, specific, measurable, action-oriented, relevant, and time-bound. It's a wonderful topic, so we'd love to have her come speak. Is there anything else that students would like to, I mean, I know you want Mo back, but are there any other topics for the month of April that you'd like to speak about? And then just type that in the chat. And then we have Berlin here from Broward County Brace and Counseling, who's going to talk about the amazing March Madness sessions going on right now. And then we're going to wrap things up with last two items. We've got a special guest, the co-founder of Venture Bites in Miami, an incredible group that he's going to tell you about, and this particular pitch competition, and then just mention the date and the topic or the subject matter of our FinTech Career Conference. So with that, Berlin, I'm going to turn things over to you. And I do have, by the way, I put up Paul Martin's College Money Method link to the university scaled by how much money you can make if you graduate from that college. It's something I'd never seen before. So Berlin, over to you. Thank you for joining us today.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for having me. What amazing information. Really, really quick. Guys, do you feel that cold front coming? It's the snowball. The FAFSA snowball is coming to your school, guys. If you hear that buzz about financial aid and life after high school, that means you're probably next. So don't be afraid to ask your Brace advisor when the snowball is coming to you. We're talking about all things for life after high school. Bring a jacket because we're going to get pretty breezy. And don't forget, this month is March Madness, and we will be talking about all things money. Next week, we're going to be talking about how to interpret your financial aid and much, much more. And don't forget, March 31st, we're having a step-by-step FAFSA.
That's fantastic. And Paul Martin spoke last night. That recording will be available. He is speaking again next week. This is the Wednesday night sessions from 6 to 7. It's on your Canvas curriculum, and you can sign up on the Broward Schools website.
Yes, I dropped the link for everyone to see. Okay,
fantastic. All right. That's great. Berlin, thank you. And I love the whole metaphor about getting cold with snowballs. That's great. Okay. So I am thrilled to announce a very special person that we met recently, thanks to one of the speakers from the YouTube conference. This is a young go-getter that's worked in VC venture capital, has a group of entrepreneurs that are in his age group, that has launched an event that is now being hosted annually that he's going to explain and invite you all to. So David, thank you for joining us. I'm going to turn the floor over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Unfortunately, I'm having some Zoom trouble, so I'm not able to pull my camera up for some reason. Let's see. All right, I guess you guys are gonna just have to look at my headshot. That's a little embarrassing, but in any case, yeah, I'm glad Colleen thought to invite me. A little bit about Venture Bites. We're a group that's focused on bolstering the South Florida technology community from the perspective of the next generation. And that's why I'm so excited to come in to talk with you guys a little bit about our upcoming pitch competition, because that's what you guys are. You're kind of the future of this community. And so that's our kind of broad mission. And one of the ways we're going out and doing that is by bringing some college entrepreneurs into the conversation. So on April 15th, we're going to have our final pitch day, in which you'll get to see 10 amazing college entrepreneurs present their ideas to a panel of professional investors, professional executives from investment companies, and entrepreneurs that have already had a lot of success. To give you an idea of the profile of student, I want to talk about the story of a student that's participating, and he's been a mentee of mine for a little bit. He entered the University of Miami as a biology major and someone that's really passionate about helping people live healthier lives. And so he realized there's no way for people to get personalized nutrition advice. And he figured, you know what, I'm going to go out and do it. And so as a college sophomore, he started this company. He started doing customer research. He built partnerships with grocery stores. He hired developers to build an app. He's been collecting customer feedback and pivoting and adding features to his app. And it's remarkable how far he's gotten just as a college student. And so we're really excited to have him and a handful of other really passionate, amazing entrepreneurs that are leading companies in nutrition, as I mentioned, but also cryptocurrency companies, ad tech, consumer goods companies, financial technology. It'll be a really great time, I think, to see what some of Miami's brightest college entrepreneurs are up to and take a look at the kind of South Florida tech ecosystem and what's going on. So I really encourage you guys to check it out and hope that you guys will be applying when it's your time in the future for our college pitch competitions.
That's wonderful, David. So, so students from the Tri-County area are being invited to sit in on this Shark Tank-like pitch session to see these examples. How do students register? Can you drop that in the chat?
Absolutely. We have a page where we're taking registrations, and so that's going to be open to everyone, of course, and we'll be broadcasting it on YouTube Live so that everyone can be part of the action and join the discussion as well.
Okay, so this is really exciting. There's a lot of focus on entrepreneurship, obviously in the tech space. We are leaning into a lot of digital fluency conversations as we navigate future initiatives as well. So I'm very excited by David's group. I think this competition and the opportunity to observe is a great opportunity. So please, kids, we'll promote on our social media as well, David. And David and I are also talking about this. So this is on the books. The future of financial services is going to, if not be dominated by, certainly significantly influenced by the new world of cryptocurrency, which has to do with blockchain technology and Bitcoin, and it's an amazing landscape of future career opportunities. So we're really, really excited about hosting this conference. It's going to be an hour and a half, mid-April, bringing together wonderful speakers to talk not only about what this is, what is blockchain, what is Bitcoin, the history behind how we got to where we are today, and then jobs and careers. So there's a QR code to sign up for that, and we'll be providing more details in the coming weeks. We are way over time, so I think that is it for this month. Just a reminder, our next SSN meeting is April 9th. Certainly, you've gotten feedback from Carolina about the social media ambassador. Email us about racial equity, social justice, and certainly take advantage of Mo's contact info, David's opportunity Michael Goldstein's virtual internship opportunity, just a world of opportunities that were shared today. So with that, I'm going to wrap things up. Any final thoughts from you, Tron? And do any of the students that we have left want to say anything out loud before we go? Tron, over to you to kind of help adjourn us.
Yeah, sure. So students, as promised, we listened, we responded. You wanted to know about adulting, and we're linking you with as many different avenues and resources as possible. Like Colleen said, is there any student on the line that has a question or that wants to give us an idea of something we can discuss in April? We're definitely not void of topics, but we want to hear from you first before we start throwing stuff out there. So please, if there's anything on your mind, it doesn't matter what topic it is. It doesn't matter, what the discussion is. Don't be ashamed or embarrassed to put it in the chat. You can send it to me or to Colleen directly, or unmute yourself and let us know. In the meantime, I just want to thank all of our presenters. Great information. As a matter of fact, if you don't say anything else, students, could you do me a favor and just put an applause emoji in the chat or put a big thank you in the chat to all of our presenters. We're so thankful that they took time out of their schedule to meet with us. So students, if you don't mind showing some love and appreciation. And then students, for you, yourselves, thank you for attending. Again, we know what it's like to be in Zoom all day. That's what we do all day, every day, but you guys are doing it consistently. So I can't imagine what it's like to then have to log in again and come to another Zoom meeting, but hopefully we've made this worthwhile. So thank you, presenters. You see the love pouring in from the chat. Thank you, students. I don't have any other requests. I don't see anyone else saying anything or unmuting. So Colleen, I think we're good to close.
Fantastic. Thank you. And Kobe, thank you for joining us again this month. We look forward to hearing from you in one of the upcoming months on all the great initiatives with the Sheriff's Office, okay?
Awesome. Look forward to it.
All right. Thank you all. We're going to adjourn. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.